Okay, so welcome to this webinar. This is GLOBIT Wealth Academy. It's the 4th of March, Wednesday, and we have these webinars 3 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, 7 o'clock UK time, and we finish normally at 8 o'clock. And for those people who might have questions, I normally stay on after the webinar from 8 o'clock till maybe 1/4 past or 1/2 past even, answering a few questions and giving people the chance to meet the owner and ask some questions, because this is all about communication and we're building a community, and I believe that business is all about the quality of communication, the quality of the relationship, and we like to have as much transparency, as much openness as possible, and we're here to help everybody. So the GLOBIT Wealth Academy is what it's all about. We're here to show people how they can use modern technology to actually grow their capital. And as I mentioned, these webinars are every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday at 7 o'clock UK time. But just for your information, we're going to revert to our normal time starting from next week. And that's going to be 8 o'clock UK time. So next Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, it will be 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock. And as I say, the purpose of these webinars is to invite new prospects along to find out how they can join this movement of people who want to create income online. And what I generally say about income online is we all know it's the most fashionable way today to create income. We've all seen that more and more shops are closing on the high street. More and more businesses are starting to rely on generating their business online. The travel business has moved online. The estate agency business has moved online. Banking has moved online. Even dating has moved online. And now, of course, we've got social media. Everything, it seems, is now done online. And of course, because of this, more and more people want to tap into the income potential of what the internet can provide. What a wonderful thing it might be if you can actually, stay at home, generate your income anywhere you've got access to the internet, or even better still, anywhere you've got access to your mobile phone, and you can generate income around the world, potentially 24 hours a day. Now, we all know, and we've all heard of people who've tried to achieve this, but like with anything, it's a wonderful idea, but can we make it a reality? And the problem is, for some people, yes, of course, some people have made their fortunes online. But the reality for most people is it's been a dismal disappointment. And that is because, unfortunately, as with anything, it takes skills and expertise to make anything work. And especially with the internet, it takes a lot of know-how to understand what the internet's all about. Never mind tap into its potential. So if you want to generate income online, it's going to involve selling, it's going to involve marketing, and it's going to involve technology. Most of that, which most people don't have any experience or skills with. In fact, the reality is most people don't like selling anything, online or offline. So it's not surprising, therefore, that most people fail miserably when it comes to generating income online. And that, of course, is if they can find a genuine business opportunity. So what we've got with the GLOBIT Wealth Academy is something completely different. Now, my name is Malcolm Pennington, and I'm the owner and the founder of GLOBIT Wealth Academy. I'll give you my background. I'm originally from the UK. If you don't know my story, I moved from the UK 21 years ago. It'll be 22 years this coming November. And I decided to move to Spain. And my little story is that when I arrived at Alicante Airport, I had the total sum of £20 in my pocket. And you might ask, well, what else did you have? And the answer is nothing. So imagine going to a foreign country with £20. What would you do? So if you feel that you've hit hard times, and most people have had challenging times financially, then let me tell you that from my personal experience, It's not about how much capital that you might have behind you right now. It's really a matter of what you can do with it. Because believe it or not, I moved into the real estate market. I created my own real estate business. And within 3 years, 4 years, I was employing 164 staff, opened 2 massive offices in Spain. And I was nominated by the Which magazine in the UK as the best property company in Spain, selling thousands of houses and a multi-million-pound business and a millionaire lifestyle to go with it. And I was as surprised as anybody, because it just shows it's not what you start with. And I can also tell you as well, it's not the destination that's the most exciting thing, it's the journey. So if you're having challenging times right now, my advice is enjoy the journey. Because if it is challenging, then congratulations. It means that you're learning. Because that's why it's challenging, because you don't fully understand. If you're in your comfort zone and nothing at all is challenging, then rest assured you're not moving forward. So we've had a few challenging times with the GLOBIT Wealth Academy, and that's because we're adapting to new technologies, new ideas, new methods, new systems that are all going to benefit everybody, and we're prepared to go through those challenges in the interest of everyone's success. So how did this all start? Well, basically, for your information, if you haven't seen this little presentation before, I've had an interest in the financial markets now for, I don't know, 30, 40 years, maybe, on and off. And in fact, I was a financial advisor in the UK. I was also a financial advisor working in Abu Dhabi in the Middle East, advising expats on how best to invest their capital, both short-term, medium-term, and long-term. So that was my background. But it dawned on me about 18 months ago that maybe I could create a business out of this. Wouldn't it be a great idea if I could pass on my experience and my methods of trading these financial markets to the general public? And that was my idea, starting what we call a trading academy. So with that in mind, I started doing that and sending out what we call trading signals. Now, I specialize on trading the DAX and the Dow. And there's a good reason for that. The DAX is the German indices. The Dow is the American indices. It represents the 30 most valuable companies by market capitalization, both in the US and in Germany. And where most people would think that the logical thing to do would be to buy shares, buy the right shares, buy them at the right time, keep them for the right amount of time, and then sell them hopefully for a profit. Well, for all those people that might have been doing that recently, due to the effects of the coronavirus, unfortunately, something like $5 or $6 trillion have been wiped off the stock markets. So consequently, those people sitting on shares have lost a huge amount of value because the markets have fallen out of the control of anybody. But if you're sitting on shares, your shares have fallen in value massively. So we actually benefit from these movements. All we have to do is speculate whether the market is moving upwards in value or is it moving downwards in value. And there's a lot more to it than that. But I can tell you that typically when I trade both the DAX and the Dow, normally 80, 85%, sometimes even 90% of my trades typically are profitable. And that means that I can grow my capital and I can help other people grow their capital. So what we were doing is everybody had access to something we call Telegram. It's a free application. You might have heard of it. You might already be using it on your mobile phone. And I was able to send these trading signals to the members of when to open a trade, when to close a trade, and whether it was the DAX or the Dow. And I might have been sending maybe 4 or 5 signals a day. And that was fine. Most of these signals were working very well. But I came to realize very quickly that most people were busy working. They could be driving, they could be traveling, they could be sleeping. all the sort of things they could be doing, but they weren't waiting for my signals to come through, and therefore they weren't benefiting to the maximum because those signals were not getting placed. And sometimes when I gave an order to close the signals, they were missing those as well. So although trading signals are reputedly quite popular, it's not an ideal method. So more recently, we came up with the idea that wouldn't it be a good idea if when I trade on my master account, that all our members could automatically have my trades copied effectively onto their accounts. And that's what we call robotic copy trading. It robotically copies all my trades on my master account and it copies them on yours. And regardless of the size of my account, if I'm trading, let's say, for one lot for every 1,000, which is typically the size of the trade, then it will do the same on your account, unless we've specifically selected on your account to perhaps trade at 50% of that. So just on a technical point of view, the lot sizes are either one lot for every 1,000 if you want a little bit more high risk and faster growth. If you want to be a little bit more cautious and you want to see your account grow perhaps a little bit slower with a lower level of risk, then typically we would trade your accounts with one lot for every 2,000 on your account. So for example, if you had 6,000 sitting in your live account and you opted for the lower risk, then your trades would typically be for about 3 lots each. It's not exact. It might be a little bit more, it might be a little bit less. Sometimes you might get trades of 4 lots when you might be expecting 3, but typically that's how it works. And so that's really how it works. And we started this on the 10th of February. So really we've only been doing this for just over a fortnight, and everything worked absolutely wonderful. And so smooth, in fact, it really took me by surprise. I anticipated a few little glitches, but we really didn't get any. And it was working absolutely fantastic. But there's 2 moving parts effectively. We've got the actual robot, the software that replicates my trades. And then we've also got the server, because the server has to host each and every one's trading account. It's all a bit of technology, but each account has to be hosted on the server. I've got to put your account into the server and vice versa, and then trade. And it's simple but complicated. And when we started adding more and more accounts, it got a bit more complicated, and that's where we are right now. Currently, we're putting together a technical team who are going to manage the servers. They're going to manually add all our new members to this robotic software as and when they join. And they're also going to have an email address so that if you've got any questions regarding the robot, instead of sending them to me, you'll send them to the robot support. And they will confirm whether your account's been added or not. And if it hasn't, why not? And when it will be added. So it's going to be a full technical support team providing you support for all our robotic copy trading. Now, the other question, of course, is how can someone get started? And the answer to that is very simple. We have a 15-day trial. And originally, our 15-day trial, which was £15, which is only £1 a day, that meant that people were receiving signals on their phone. But as I've mentioned, these signals were not the ideal method of trading. So now we've just come up with the idea, and this is being implemented as we speak, whereby when you take out a 15-day trial, you can actually have your demo account traded with the robot, okay? And when you register this demo account, it comes with $10,000 or 10,000 euros or 10,000 pounds of virtual currency. It's just like a normal professional trading platform that you can practice on if you wish. But more importantly, we can link your demo account to the actual robot. And the beauty of that is you can observe by logging into what we call your control panel and just see on a daily basis how much money you're making in that demo account and therefore how much you will be making if you'd have taken the action to have a live account. So it's not going to take very long before you realize how much it's costing you by having a demo account and not a live account, and then you can then request to have your live account traded with the robot. So let me just, if you've got a pen and paper and you're not quite sure about the costs, let me just clarify. There's a bit of confusion on what it actually costs to get started. Now, there are two aspects, two subscriptions effectively. Everyone takes out a membership subscription, which is £15 for 15 days. At the end of 15 days, there's an automatic payment goes out, and that's for £90. So effectively for the first 15 days, it's £1 a day. And then when £90 goes out for the following month, it's like £3 a day. Okay, and when you speak to some of our members who are earning perhaps £1,000 a day or more, you know, paying out £3 a day for your service is a small price to pay. So that's what happens. It's £15 for 15 days. And then at the end of 15 days, there's a further payment goes out automatically of £90. And after a month, another automatic payment goes out of £180. And then it's £180 a month thereafter. That's the membership subscription, but that would only qualify you to have your demo account traded on the robotic trading system. Okay, so if you want to see real money, then you need to upgrade and take out another subscription, and that is where you upgrade to our robot. So you've already set up the membership subscription. You're now going to take out another subscription, and this is going to cost you £135 for the robot. If you therefore upgrade at the same time immediately, you're effectively going to pay £15 for the subscription and then £135 for the robot. Put the two costs together and it means you've paid £150. On the robot, 15 days later, a further payment goes out of £60. So if you've taken the two out at the same time, you've got £90 going out on the membership and £60 going out on the robot, making another payment of £150. And then a month later, the robot costs £70 a month. Okay, so the robot costs £70 a month and the membership is £180 a month. Put the two together and that's £250 a month. Now, if you had your account traded professionally, and there are people who claim to be, you know, competent at trading, then the normal performance fee, and that's what it's called a performance fee, you would normally pay either 20, 25, or maybe 30% or more of the profits. So the bigger the account that you've got, the more those performance fees are going to be, and you could have performance fees running into the thousands. Okay. Now with our system, it doesn't matter if your account is £5,000 or £50,000. It doesn't matter how much money you're making on your account. You only pay £250 a month, whether you've got a small account or a large account. It never increases from £250. That's how it works. Now, the other thing is, we believe the best way to grow a business is from word of mouth. Word of mouth advertising today is far more powerful than any form of radio advertising, newspaper advertising, or online advertising. And I can tell you that the people that we've got on the webinar right now, I've not paid any money whatsoever in the form of advertising, because all these people that we've got on the webinar right now are all having positive experiences. They all believe in the vision, and they're all sharing this with their friends, their family, their contacts, their prospects, people on social media, etc. And therefore our membership, we believe, is going to continue to grow and grow and grow around the world on a global basis. Now, in the next 4 to 6 weeks, I can't tell you specifically when, but it's currently being worked on as we speak. We've got some sophisticated software being designed that will allow all our members to log into a dashboard, because you can actually run this as a business. We've talked about having an online business, and of course, if you open a live account and link it to the robotic trading system, you're going to grow your capital, which is one form of income, but you can also recommend this as a business. And if you decide to do that, then you're going to create some passive monthly income. Now, this is important I believe that we've got what I call a business of mass appeal. It's got mass appeal for the mass market, because most of these online businesses, they could be to do with weight loss. Well, weight loss is okay, but what about the people that don't need to lose weight? What about the people that want to lose weight but don't want to lose weight? So not everyone's a target for losing weight. What about health and wellness? If somebody wants to drink 10 pints a day and they're not interested in health and wellness, what use is your health and wellness product? Absolutely no use. And it doesn't matter how good your health and wellness product is, or your weight loss product is, it takes selling. You've got a physical product, you've got to move from A to B. Most people haven't got the skills to sell, and ultimately, when you're selling a product online, there's always a product that you can buy elsewhere for half the price, and you've got this rejection with the price. So when you build a network in network marketing, normally, most people struggle to recruit maybe 2 people. And those people typically drop out after about 6 weeks because they've made no money. And if you've been involved in networking, you'll know that that is generally the reality for most people. Now, because I believe that this is a product of mass appeal for the mass market, everybody that you speak to, I can say, would like to work less hours, would like to have more income. And that's what we're offering, a chance for people to physically not work at all and create income. So everyone's a target prospect. We've got people now, in fact, what's his name? Ron, you probably all know Ron, most of you will know Ron. Ron gave me a call earlier on tonight, said, I do apologize, I'm not going to be on the webinar tonight. I'm going for an Indian. I've been invited for an Indian with whoever it was. He said, but by 9 o'clock, he'll also be in the GLOBIT Wealth Academy. And he's actually referred so far about 14 people himself, and he's 75 years of age. So how would a 75-year-old man, refer 14 people into a business if it was complicated? Wouldn't be possible at all. So he's extremely enthusiastic, very excited. He's seen his live account growing, his business is growing, and he's very, very happy. So that talks about how to get started. I'm just going to share my screen for 5 minutes because I've given you the details about what it costs to get started. But I do believe that the best way to share this business, apart from inviting people to these webinars, is to give them one of our ebooks. And I'm going to show you that ebook. If you haven't already got the ebook, you can go to our Facebook group, which is Trading for Profit 5-Day Challenge. Just type that in the search engine inside Facebook, Trading for Profit 5-Day Challenge. And if you come to the menu on the left-hand side here and click Announcements, okay, then just scroll down and you're looking for the ebook. And that's the ebook. And all you have to do, click on the ebook. And if you copy that link at the top, copy that link, and you can then send that link to literally anybody. And all they have to do is go all the way to the back of the ebook, which I'll show you in a second, to the Getting Started section. And they can actually take the necessary steps to get started. Before I take you through to the Getting Started section, I just want to read you this part, because in a moment we are going to be talking about incomes that some of our members have been generating. So before we talk about incomes, I'm obliged to read you the income disclaimer. And that is to say, this ebook contains the opinions and ideas of its author. Nothing in this ebook should be construed as investment advice, neither from the author or trading partners contained herein. Under no circumstances does the information in this content represent a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any security. Past performance, unique experiences, and past performances do not guarantee future results. So if you do choose to purchase, own, mine, or trade, only do so with what you can afford to lose, and do so at your own risk. And please read the remaining terms and conditions of independent affiliate / representative. Now, I created this ebook based on my personal experiences of trading the DAX and the Dow. I thought, wouldn't it be a good idea if I could write an ebook called The 21 Golden Rules of Trading the Financial Markets? And as I say, these rules generally apply to most of the instruments that you can possibly trade on the financial markets. But I specialize on the DAX and the Dow because, historically speaking, that's where the most movement takes place. And it's the movement that creates the income opportunity. Now, today, after all the falls on the DAX and the Dow, and after all the falls of the stock markets, the DAX and the Dow, I noticed, was going what we call mostly sideways. In fact, it was going mostly sideways for much of the day, which means it wasn't really going up in value, it wasn't really going down in value, and therefore it wasn't an ideal time for trading for those people who wanted to trade. And I can also tell you as well that although we've been talking about, adding the robot back into action for Friday, I can tell you from my personal experience, is not the best day of the week. I think that the traders in London and in New York, etc., they're keen to finish their week as early as possible. They close their business probably early. They've made their money for the week. And what typically happens on a Friday is the market often goes sideways again, not always, but typically there aren't as many opportunities on a Friday as you've got on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And if you put on a trade on Friday simply because you want to put on a trade, or simply because you want to make money, that's not a good reason for trading. The only reason I trade is not because I want to trade. I trade because I simply see an opportunity for profit. And effectively, all my trades are based on calculated probability. And when the probability is in my favor, I will place a trade. So what I'm saying for Friday, we may or may not trade on Friday. I don't want to trade for the sake of it. And I certainly don't want to put trades on Friday that turn out to be bad trades and then have those trades lying open over the weekend and then starting the start of next week with a losing trade because we were keen to put trades on Friday. I may test the robot on Friday just to see if it's all working okay. But do be aware that Friday is not the best day. And as I say, the only time for trading is not because we want to trade, but the best time for trading is when we see trading opportunity. And I can tell you that from personal experience. So that talks about the challenges of trading. Discipline is what it's all about, following a strategy, and also coping with losing trades, because from time to time we do get a losing trade. That's a list of all the different companies that make up the DAX. So you'll recognize some of these companies: Adidas, Allianz, the insurance conglomerate, Commerzbank, Daimler, Deutsche Bank, Deutsche Post, Deutsche Telekom, Deutsche Lufthansa, the airline. There's some Volkswagen, of course, Siemens. There's some of the companies that make up the most valuable companies on the DAX in Germany. Likewise, in the Dow, the most valuable companies in the US. Some of these are more well known, of course. You've got 3M, the printing company, American Express, Apple, Boeing, Caterpillar, Chevron, Cisco Systems, Coca-Cola, ExxonMobil, Goldman Sachs, Home Depot, Intel, International Business Machines, that's IBM, Johnson & Johnson, the pharmaceutical people, JP Morgan Chase, McDonald's, the burger people, Microsoft, Nike, Pfizer, Procter & Gamble, who else we've got? Visa, Walmart, and Walt Disney. So instead of buying shares in those companies, you can now trade with our robotic software, where we're trading on the rise and fall of these two indices, both the DAX and the Dow. And I've been keeping records on a spreadsheet on the main website, which is GLOBIT Wealth Academy, and typically on a monthly basis since May of last year, or was it March? May I think it was. Might have been March, I can't remember. We've seen an average capital growth of around about 45% per month. Okay, so people want to know how much to expect. We don't make any financial claims. There are no guarantees. There's a huge amount of risk, but typically that's the kind of money that we've been making on a monthly basis. That talks about what a pending order is. And this is where we start talking about our 21 golden rules. I personally start trading the markets early in the morning when they start. I'm in Spain. and I start at 8 o'clock. So my alarm goes off at 7 o'clock. I'm analyzing the market from about 7:30, and I'm trading from sort of 8 o'clock till maybe 10 o'clock. And I normally, on a normal, typical business day, I'll make a fantastic income between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, you can imagine, would you like to create a full-time income more than what you're making right now in the first 2 hours of the day before you've had breakfast? This is the possibility when trading the financial markets, especially when it's all automated. So we're talking about the DAX and the Dow. Relaxing is very important. Staying calm and cool is important. Having a daily income goal. I have a daily income goal each and every day. And when I hit that daily income goal, I shut down my trading platform. And if that happens to be at 9:30 in the morning or 10 o'clock, people sometimes say to me, why are you not trading in the afternoon? And I would say, well, why would I want to expose myself to any more risk when I've already grown my capital by 5% in the morning? And that's the objective that we have the discipline to control. We have to resist the urgency and the desire to trade because we want to trade, because that's just nothing more than gambling. We trade and we do it with a calculated method. So interval trading, what's that? Well, I want to split the day up into 2 or 3 trading sessions. It's not a good thing to trade from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock, because you can be responsible for what we call over trading, and that's definitely the way to lose money. It's important to control the size of your trades, not too big, not too small. Limit the trading. You must have an exit strategy on each trade. How to cope with the losing trades. And we don't go for overnight trading. You can actually leave trades open overnight, but those tend to be a little bit more risky. And we have a daily routine. It's all about enjoying this. And we have the networking aspect where you can build a team and generate monthly residual income. We like to keep it simple. I believe every business should have a system and a method, and it's important to keep it simple. You can always read books or go online and learn a bit about trading, but reality is most people don't want to know how to trade. They just want to create income. So that's really what that's all about. A black account is what BD Swiss, who are our brokers, they allow people to have what we call a black account, and a black account allows you to fund your live account with upwards of €5,000 or £5,000 or $5,000. And the benefit of a black account is every time we place a trade on your account, there are no broker fees. Now, the cost of opening a trade is about £1.50 per trade per lot. So let's imagine that every trade that we place on your account could be for, let's say, 6 lots. That means you're paying £9 every time we open a trade. Now, it's not unusual during the course of a day for me to place 10 trades on your account, and that would cost you £90 a day in broker fees, times 5, that's £450 a week, times 4, that's £1,800 a month you will be paying in broker fees. And the bigger your account, the more broker fees you're going to be paying. But if you fund it with a single payment of £5,000, €5,000 or $5,000, you won't have any broker fees to pay. And that £1,800 I've just explained will be additional profit in your account. How BD Swiss make their profit is they make it on the margin between the open price and the sell price. It's a very small margin, but if you multiply that by all their traders and all the trades that they're completing on a daily basis, that's how they make their profit. So trading is all about psychology, and I've got a video here that talks about my trading history over 7 days, and within 7 days it shows how I lost 1 trade in 7 days. Here we talk about comparing trading signals with our robotic copy trading service. So why do GLOBIT not provide trading signals? Well, I think I've answered that question, but the answer is instead of trading signals, members of GLOBIT Wealth Academy receive our robotic copy trading service. And it explains here, why is robotic copy trading preferred to trading signals? And as I explained, with previous experience of providing our members trading signals, we realized that many members were missing our signals due to their busy work, travel, or family commitments. However, Our members never miss our trades that are instantly served by our robotic copy trading system. That's why people are now loving the robotic system. And we've given a name to our robot. We call this robot GLOBIT. And if you want to know what is the robot, who is the robot, I'm the robot. It's just a name that we've given to this system because we robotically copy every one of my trades on the master account, and those get robotically copied to your master account, whether it be a demo account or a live account. That tells you a little bit about the commissions you can earn if you decide to build a team. And this is all about our getting started section. So from pages 24 to 34, this is where you want to direct your new prospects. Tell them to go to pages 24 to 34. And this is where they're going to open their BD Swiss account. They do have to use this link. If they go anywhere else apart from use this link, we cannot connect the robot to their account. So it's vitally important they click on that link and they go through the necessary steps to complete their registration. They'll also need to upload a copy of their passport to prove their ID. They'll also need to upload a copy of their bank statement to prove their address. So if you just read those details here, that explains how to get your account verified and approved. That can be done within typically an hour or two. And at any time you want to make a withdrawal from BD Swiss, it normally gets approved within an hour or two, and your funds will typically, in my experience, be back in your account within about 36 hours, or maybe 2 days maximum. So it's a fantastic service. BD Swiss operates in over 160 different countries. They provide customer support in 25 different languages. And that's why we use BD Swiss. If you haven't already joined our Facebook group, you can click on this link here, and that will take you straight through to the Facebook group, as we showed a few moments ago. So the key really to building your business is giving people this link to the ebook and then advising them to go straight to the getting started section. If I go back to the ebook, this is where they can take out their 15-day trial. So they're going to click on this section here. As I mentioned, it's £15 to get started, which works out at it effectively £1 a day. After a month, it's after 15 days, it's a further payment of 90, and then it's £180 a month thereafter. You do have to fill out these two forms. That's Form A and also Form B. But on Form A, it's just a question of your first name, your last name, email, mobile phone, your introducer's name, whoever introduced you. You'll need to choose a username for yourself, and also the username of your introducer, and just click Start 15-day trial. That's Form A. This is Form B. And what we need to know is which of your accounts do you want to trade? Now, for most of you, you will want to get started on the you'll want to get started on the 15-day trial, and you'll want to go straight into trading your live account. In that case, you'll click Please connect the robot to my live account. However, if you want to be a bit more cautious and you want to have your demo account traded, click I want my demo account traded by the robot. So that's the first question. And then we need your name, your surname, your email, your mobile phone, country of residence, just to confirm that you've used the referral link inside the ebook to open your BD Swiss account. Here we need the account number of your MT4 account. If you're not quite sure, you can speak to BD Swiss customer support. They'll be able to provide you with that. We need your MT4 account password. We also need your MT4 server name. Now, your MT4 server name will typically be BD Swiss Global Real 01, or it could be BD Swiss Global Real 02. But it's important that you put the accurate information in, otherwise we cannot connect your account to the robot. And finally, the last question is, when your demo or live account is automatically traded using the robotic copy trading service, please select your preferred level of risk management. Do you want the higher level of risk, which is 1 lot for every 1,000, or do you want the lower level of risk, which is 1 lot for every 2,000? Okay, so that's what you need to fill out. If you've decided that you want to have your demo account traded, that's fine, just click that box. But what you will have to do is, when you're ready to come back and have your live account traded, then you will need, first of all, to make a payment of £135. We cannot trade your live account until you've upgraded and paid an additional £135. And furthermore, you need to come back and complete this form here, which is the same as form B, but you need to fill this same form out again. So where first of all you would have put, you want your demo account traded. Now you're going to put, I want my live account traded. Most people, I must admit, come into the business, they take out the trial, straight away they upgrade to the robot, and they want to get their live account traded as quickly as possible. And finally, we have the fifth form, what we call Form E, and this is where you enter your email, your full name, date of birth, home address, country, how many years you've lived at the address, and put your employment status, whether it's employed, self-employed, retired, or whatever, your phone number, agree to the terms and conditions, acknowledge that you've read the terms and the privacy policy, click register, and you will receive an email with a suggestion that you've got something to download. Ignore downloading anything, because that's if you're going to host the account on your server, and that gets quite complicated. We're hosting your account on our servers, so there's nothing to download, there's nothing complicated. All you have to do, just to reiterate, is you've got to make those two payments, the £15 payment, and which is this one, and if you want to upgrade to the robot, on your demo, on your live account, you'll pay $135, and effectively you've got 5 forms to complete. And this is our webinar, which we've said is every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But starting from next Tuesday, it's going to be 8 o'clock. So next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it will be 8 o'clock UK time. I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and that basically is an overview of the business. If you've been making notes, you should now know exactly how it works, what it costs, and what the income potential is. And if there's anybody now who would like to give you their short little testimonial of how it's worked for them, I'll be very grateful, and I'm sure everybody else would like to hear somebody else's experience. So if there's anybody who would like to give a short little testimonial, just put your name in the chat box, and then I can open the call, and you can share a few stories and your personal experience, which would be fantastic for some of our new members looking at getting started. Who would like to share a little testimonial?
Yeah. This is Oscar. Thank you for a very, very good explanation. Also, that is very nice.
Thank you.
Because I was in the academy for 3 months, open positions, pending and PEP and PEEP, and I think I just got confused. But of course, I learned something. But when you explain it, well, yeah, I was listening to 2 women and 1 man. They were experts. And then I was open a position, I just follow them. If they open a position, I did do the same. But I have to do it myself on MT4. It was quite boring for me. But how you explain this with the robot and so on, that I'm very, very impressed.
Well, fantastic. What I like to do, I like to design a business where everybody has to say yes to. What a wonderful business.
Yeah.
That's the definition of a good business.
Yeah, of course. So everybody, everybody is happy with. Yeah, and interest, because I like system, all kinds of system, most therapy system, but money system is also very good thing. You don't get rich of what I am doing.
Have you been trading your account using this robotic software yet?
No, I just tried one time a fully automated robot who decide himself index or forex or whatever, all kinds of thing. I did see the list, and I said, wow, this must be complicated, and it was not so much. And then I went $250, then I was making on 1 week $120, and I was going to take this $120 out. Then I was called and says, why are you doing this? And, account manager,
For the interest of our members, incidentally, you might like to share your profession, because we've got some interesting professional people. What is your profession?
Alternative therapy. I have all kinds of education as a therapist.
Okay.
I've been working with in jails, in psychiatric hospitals, and with violence, heavy addiction, serious addiction.
Okay.
And so I've been working through. I was called in Sweden, because I'm in Sweden now. I'm educated psychotherapist, but in Sweden I cannot call me for psychotherapist because I'm not a European Union member.
Okay. Okay.
So now it's called CPT, cognitive behavior therapy. Yeah.
Okay. Alternative behavior.
I'm working most for the young people, but now I've stopped working. I'm just teaching.
Okay. Well, thank you for that explanation, and I'm pleased that you're so positive about what you've seen so far, and you're very much a welcome member, and always got a nice smiley face as well at the same time.
Listen, my life has been having lectures, absolutely not about money, totally different things.
Exactly. Well,
and I sold my best year in Sweden. I sold lectures around Sweden for 3.5 million Swedish crown on that time. That's about 350,000 euro 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah. And most in hospitals and big, it's cost 350 coming in, listening. Most people, was working in hospitals and so on, like to learn something new. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, thank you for that. We've all learned a few things, and I'll come back to the other members. Thank you. I've obviously got you down as iPhone 7 Plus, so we'd like to know you as your real name, not iPhone 7 Plus. So maybe when you get a spare minute or two, you might change that for your real name.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know how to do.
No, well, it's not complicated. Maybe just do most of these things. It's just a question of a right click and just editing.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I'll tell you what, if you go into your Zoom account and go into profile, I think that's where you they can change your name.
Maybe I have to do it on the computer, not on because even if this iPhone Plus, then I don't like to work so much on an iPhone. It's too small.
I'm going to invite David. I know David's been around a while. Would you like to say a few little words, David? A few words of wisdom?
What wisdom?
Maybe not. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to force anybody, but if anybody...
It's okay.
Who would like to say a few words of what you've experienced with the GLOBIT Wealth Academy, why you're here, why you like it, why you see a future, what you think it's going to do for you, what it has done for you so far? Because I can tell you that all our members who are using the service are making profit, and I can also tell you as well that typically when people start doing their own trading, most people lose money. So if you want any advice from me, is don't trade yourself, because it's a risky business, and I don't really want to see anybody losing money. But typically, until you've learned the skills, that's what you probably are going to do. You will lose money when you start trading. If you want to practice trading, then I would suggest you practice on the demo account. But it's your account. If you think you've mastered a few skills, then by all means, trade.
Yeah, I can say a few words, Malcolm.
Go on then, David. Thank you, David.
Yeah, so I was following automated signals before when I was in GLOBIT Academy, and unfortunately I had a number of problems with missing signals and had some losses resulting from that. Malcolm knows all about that, so I stepped away from it. when I saw that the robot was being set up, I was more interested to be part of that because I wouldn't suffer the same problem caused by missing a close signal or not getting a profit by not opening the trade, that kind of thing. So the existence of the robot is a godsend. Malcolm has got his transparent results on his website. You can see trade by trade what was a profit, what was a loss. The track record speaks for itself. And so I resubscribed to take that opportunity. And I think also there's some improvements. You've now got the option of what degree of risk you want to take. For me, I take the lower risk because my intention is to preserve capital at all costs after my previous experience. And I think with the number of trades coming along, we can see that the volume of trades and the win rate is in our favour for sure. So I'm happy to be here. Let's run it and see how it goes. I'm not personally someone who wants to invite everybody along on the first week of success. So I'll probably be biding my time for a couple of months just to be sure that it's all going well.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful. But isn't it right that your background was in investment banking, David?
Well, I was in trade finance.
Trade and finance. Sorry. Yeah, trade and finance. So David comes from a financial background, and so it's wonderful to have people who've got that financial experience, you know, putting their name and their time behind this project. So yeah, thank you, David.
You're welcome. Can I ask you one question while I'm on there?
Of course you can.
When you're describing the upgrade in the cost, is it actually an upgrade now where you're not providing signals first off? The whole thing is a robot automated program. So is the subscription really one tariff, or is there actually an upgrade in there?
Okay, so no more signals are going out. No more signals at all. So we're completely finished with signals. So what do people get for £15? Well, they get a 15-day trial, and they can choose to have their demo account, which will typically have either £10,000, €10,000 or $10,000. They can have their demo account linked to the robotic copy trading system. So they can therefore see during the course of those 15 days how much they might be making if they link their live account to the robotic system. That's what they get for £15. So it doesn't cost them anything more than just £15 to have their demo account traded by the robot. Many people who are joining as a member, they want to pay the £15 for the membership, but they also want to upgrade to the robot so that they can have their live account traded by the robot. And that's where they pay an additional $135. So if you put those two costs together, it's $150. But for somebody who just wants to simply put the toe in the water and try out the robot on the demo, they don't have to pay anything more than just £15.
So it's really about going live.
Well, it is, yeah. But what a wonderful thing to be able to do, to be able to try a system out for £15 and see if it's as good as they've been told.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, and I'm just going to finish this webinar by something I call the 3 C's. You've heard me talk about it, but if you are looking at this webinar for the first time, you'll relate to what I'm going to say, and that is when you hear about something that sounds absolutely wonderful, it sort of sounds too good to be true. And at the best, you might think, well, I'm curious, but I don't really believe it. And if it's working for other people, it probably wouldn't work for me. So if you do speak to other people, that's probably going to be the typical response. They might show a little bit of interest, but it's really only curiosity. And what you've got to do really is send them a link to the ebook, the link I've just been sharing with you, and tell them to go through that ebook and go through to the Getting Started section, which is pages 24 to 34, and tell them to take out a trial membership for £15. Okay, they can try this system and have their demo account traded for 15 days for £15, which is £1 a day. And what you're able to do, therefore, is within that 15-day period, is confirm with that person, and they can confirm them for themselves, that what they've been told is reality. And so therefore, that's the second C, confirmation. So you're taking a person who's just purely curious to getting all their questions answered and confirmed. And then all that happens is that person is quickly going to want to have their live account traded with the robot, and they're going to start making some real profits. And it doesn't take very long, maybe a week, maybe 10 days, and they're going to be absolutely blown away with the results. And that's when they get their confidence. So now what you've got a person that's moved from the curiosity state to having their questions answered and confirmed, and now to being in a position of being confident. And we've got people on the webinar who arrived initially being very curious and very skeptical, who are now very confident and have now referred maybe 10 or 15 people into the business simply because they're excited, they're passionate, they believe in the system, and they've got personal experience that it really works. Okay, so it's a really, really simple business. I believe it's the best business online today for obvious reasons. And I also believe as well, in my 20 years of being associated with the internet, I believe it's the best business online I've ever seen. That's amazing. And I think if you ask yourself the same question, you probably believe the same as well. I've never seen a business where you can create this level of income and all completely automated, all completely passively with no selling, and where recruiting is completely optional. And also in a regulated market, we're working with a highly professional broker. They've won numerous awards. They provide first-class service. Your money is always segregated in a client's account. Nobody has access to your money apart from you, and you can make withdrawals at any time that suits you. So if you want to be in a secure business, in a business which is very current right now, working from home, working online, using the internet, I'd like to welcome you to the GLOBIT Wealth Academy. Do go to the ebook, do take out a trial membership for £15, and do thank the person that's introduced you, because you know, they do deserve a thank you. They are going to get paid, and you can do the same. So unless there's any questions, I'm going to stop recording, and thank you all for attending. I'm going to stay on the call just in case there's any more questions, but for the moment, I'm going to close the call and thank you again.